October 2017. Gilbert Armenta is on the phone with his girlfriend, but she isn't just any woman. The FBI had put a reward of $5 million on her name, and she's behind the biggest crypto scam in history. For investigators, Gilbert is the only thread left. After years of pressure, they flipped him. His calls are being tapped, and after years of investigations, finally, the FBI is about to know where she is. But then, Gilbert made a mistake. He said, "The Americans are already behind us." And that was enough. She realized the man she trusted wasn't calling to warn her. He was calling to trap her. There was no goodbye, no sign of anger. The line went silent, and the Cryptoqueen disappeared forever. In 2014, the crypto market felt like a new financial frontier. Bitcoin had risen from $13 to nearly $1,100 the year before. But optimism collapsed quickly when a major crypto exchange, Mt. Gox, filed for bankruptcy. This shattered confidence across the industry as Bitcoin's price fell sharply. The collapse left a clear gap in the market. People were still searching for a new opportunity, and that demand was quickly filled by a new crypto coin, one marketed as the Bitcoin killer. OneCoin was introduced by a company called One Life Network, backed by an advanced mathematical algorithm called Script. While Bitcoin was capped at 21 million coins, OneCoin, by contrast, allowed 2.1 billion. But there was a problem. By that time, cryptocurrency rules were not clear. So, they couldn't classify it as a real product. They didn't want to risk attention from regulators, so they found a loophole. Since it was also like an MLM scheme, they sold education packages. These contained a basic PDF file with information about finance and investing. The material by itself was pretty poor quality, often had spelling mistakes, and much of it was plagiarized. But that didn't matter, because customers were buying these education packages for an entirely different reason. With each package, you also received free tokens, which could be exchanged for OneCoin. Once purchased, members could sell their tokens on an internal exchange called XCoinX, or keep them and join mining pools to generate real OneCoins. Because all participants were mining together, profits came from collective growth rather than individual risk. As token balances kept increasing, most people chose not to sell or spend their OneCoins. Holding felt smarter than exiting, especially as balances grew with no visible downside. OneCoin became a second chance for anyone who missed the early Bitcoin boom. The idea felt radical and life-changing, and the person behind it was Ruja Ignatova. Ruja Ignatova was born in a poor Bulgarian city in 1980. At that time, Bulgaria was closely aligned with the Soviet Union and ruled by Todor Zhivkov. The state controlled nearly every aspect of life. There was no democracy, and those who challenged the state often vanished overnight. Under the communist regime, jobs were guaranteed, but wages were low. People survived, but no one got rich, especially not legally. So, at the age of 10, her family fled to Germany in hope of a better life. Ruja was a bright student, and from an early age, she felt that she was better than others. In a school book, she described herself as always well-behaved and cheerful, faultless. Then she added, "Stop, maybe we should stick to the truth." Okay, fine, maybe I did take pleasure in tormenting some students. I was always looking for the chance to spread new, amusing stories about them. At the age of 18, she received a scholarship to the University of Konstanz, where she later graduated with a PhD in private international law, and then a master's degree in European law at Oxford University. With her impressive qualifications, she landed several prestigious jobs. First at the Bulgarian branch of McKinsey, a top consulting firm, and then at Bulgaria's largest investment company. There, she became extremely well-connected as she networked with important business people, politicians, and celebrities. But it still wasn't enough for her. Dealing with wealthy clients and international banks all day only made her more desperate to build her own fortune. So, in 2013, she started to seriously research Bitcoin, a new idea in finance that had started to get people's attention. At the time, Bitcoin was only a few years old, but its price had recently been shooting up. At the same time, she met a man called Sebastian Greenwood. Sebastian used to work in multi-level marketing companies, and he knew the power of pyramids. MLM companies work on a referral system, where money isn't made by selling product alone, but by recruiting others to sell it for you. The more people you bring in, the more you earn. Sebastian had already made money from running an MLM before, but he felt the hype around this new crypto technology presented a huge opportunity. What if they teamed up to create their own crypto project, but used multi-level marketing to sell it? If they had a network of sellers working on commission, it would help drive up the price of the coin. And then the price of the coin would help bring in more people into the network, creating a powerful growth cycle. Sebastian's MLM expertise meant he could handle sales, whilst Ruja's banking experience and polished look made her the ideal face of the company. They called it OneCoin. Ruja and Sebastian officially registered the company in Gibraltar and Dubai, and they also opened a physical office in Bulgaria. Now they needed a lot of people who could buy OneCoin, so Ruja played her masterstroke.
What we will do as a company, we will double the coins on your accounts.
The marketing strategy worked, and suddenly, thousands of people started investing in OneCoin. They even presented it as the second largest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin. But there was a problem. When Ruja and Sebastian started the company, they didn't actually know how to create the blockchain they needed, so they never built one. Instead, they realized this could be an advantage. Without a real blockchain, they could set the price of their coin to whatever they wanted. But this raised questions. People began commenting online that OneCoin's price only ever went up, unlike a real cryptocurrency which would normally fluctuate. Others pointed out that promises of 300% returns within months were absurd. One website, BehindMLM.com, even accused OneCoin of running a massive Ponzi scheme. In response, OneCoin's leaders dismissed all criticism as hate. Anyone who questioned the project was labeled as a jealous, uninformed outsider trying to destroy OneCoin.
And I really would discourage people to spread rumors like this because they're simply not true. We have a very proper blockchain, and the haters claiming other people probably should go and look for something else to say on this.
Meanwhile, Ruja's cult-like following trusted her blindly. Investors had been conditioned not to believe anyone outside the organization. Then things turned darker. OneCoin began threatening to shut down user accounts if people publicly asked too many questions. And that was only the beginning. In January 2017, users logged onto OneCoin's exchange and were met with an ominous message. This site is under maintenance. At first, most assumed it was just a temporary technical issue, but days turned into weeks. Calls to OneCoin's headquarters went unanswered. By that time, OneCoin's listed price had climbed to $8.50 per coin, the highest it had ever been. On paper, Ruja was selling nearly $500 million worth of OneCoin every single day. Behind the scenes, withdrawal requests were already failing. Error messages became routine. But the real shock came soon after investigators learned that Ruja Ignatova had vanished. And with her disappearance, their entire world collapsed. Ruja's disappearance created uncertainty and panic among OneCoin investors, but it quickly ended when her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, stepped in as the new boss. Konstantin was a personal trainer and a social media influencer. Unlike Ruja, he lacked the charisma and authority needed to hold the empire together. But despite the setbacks, the company continued recruiting aggressively, especially across Asia and Africa, and membership kept growing. By 2019, OneCoin had around 3 million investors, but everything was about to collapse. Konstantin was on a business trip in the US when he was suddenly arrested in Los Angeles International Airport by the FBI. With his arrest, OneCoin's illusion finally collapsed. OneCoin was fully fake.
Go through the transactions.
And I would read every single block in that period to find where did my transaction go through, and it simply wasn't there.
It was never a crypto coin, and it had no public blockchain. It was nothing other than a pyramid scheme. Sebastian Greenwood, co-founder and top promoter, was already arrested in July 2018 in Thailand and was extradited to the US. Investigators later uncovered emails between Ruja Ignatova and Sebastian Greenwood openly planning the scam. In private, They even referred to the coin as a trashy coin. Because trading was restricted to a single, tightly controlled exchange, the operation ran for years with little scrutiny. OneCoin paid early investors using money from new ones, a classic pyramid scheme structure where top executives like Sebastian Greenwood were reportedly earning up to $20 million per month. OneCoin wasn't just one type of fraud. It was a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, and a crypto scam all at the same time. As money piled up, moving large sums without triggering red flags became increasingly difficult. By 2015, OneCoin was struggling to keep its cash flows out of sight of authorities. That's when Ruja contacted a financier she knew from her earlier banking days, Gilbert Armenta. Armenta was an expert in money laundering and fully aware of OneCoin's criminal nature. He solved their cash movement problem quickly, and as their illegal partnership deepened, Ruja and Armenta grew close and began a personal relationship alongside the business arrangement. That relationship unraveled when Armenta was arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation on an unrelated charge. Facing prison, he cut a deal. Armenta exposed OneCoin to the FBI and agreed to become an informant. The arrangement didn't last long. By 2017, the FBI made Gilbert call Ruja multiple times and trap her. But during one of their calls, Gilbert slipped. Apart from that, Ruja had also secretly bugged Armenta's apartment and discovered his cooperation with the authorities. So, she vanished without a trace. On October 25, 2017, she boarded a flight from Sofia, Bulgaria to Athens, Greece. And after landing, nobody has seen or heard from her since. Around the world, police agencies began searching for Ruja, with no success. What they're left with is wild speculation and theories. One of the earliest claims was that Ruja changed her appearance shortly after disappearing. Sources suggested that she had undergone plastic surgery to alter her face. With the confirmed knowledge she had gone through plastic surgery before, this is quite possible. There were even darker theories about her mafia connections. When Ruja was running from the FBI, she needed protection. So, she contacted Bulgarian mafias. She was allegedly paying 100,000 euros monthly as protection money. This is when she met Bulgarian crime boss Christoforos Amanatidis, aka Taki. She helped Taki with money laundering, and he became her ultimate protector. They were so close that Taki even became the godfather of her kid. But after Ruja became a liability, Taki killed her and dumped her at sea. But there's no evidence that has ever supported this claim. While people continue searching for her, multiple murders linked to OneCoin have surfaced across different parts of the world. Dimitar Dimov, a Bulgarian national, was killed in South Africa along with his family inside his home. He had given evidence to the Central Intelligence Agency claiming that Bulgarian crime boss Taki had ordered the murder of Ruja Ignatova. What is clear is that this was a cleanup operation meant to erase people who knew too much and sever dangerous links. What remains unanswered is who is still carrying it out.
It is very brave to say that this cleanup operation is because of Ruja. It is very likely that actually Ruja is part of the cleanup operation, one of the people on top of the list to get removed.
What is certain is that Ruja remains one of the world's most wanted fugitives. She's still listed in the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, with a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to her capture. With one coin scam, Ruja collected more than $4 billion from investors. And with that amount of money, you can hide forever. And that amount of money is enough to get you killed as well.